Okay then, Helldivers, welcome back to a brand new video. Now today we have some new information from the CEO, well the new CEO, Shams, on a lot of the games, like kind of future stuff and what they're working towards. I thought I'd bring this news to you guys because it's quite exciting. You know, we're hoping for a lot more stuff added to the game in the near future. Obviously tomorrow we've got the very exciting new patch and the new war bond, which I cannot wait for. And yeah, so we're just going to be going through everything. So if you guys do enjoy today's video and you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the video and subscribing, that would mean the world to me. And let's hop straight in with today's news. So it's a whole bunch of stuff from Shams in the Discord, and he's been pretty active in the Discord, and that's the stuff we like to see. Most of the Arrowhead devs at the moment are being very active and giving us the information we need to know, obviously if they're allowed to, but let's just dive into it. So first off, someone asked Shams saying, if you could add anything to the game right now, no judgment, limits or opposition, what would you add? And Shams just simply put, more progression. Now this is something that is apparently being talked at Arrowhead massively at the moment, is the future progression. Obviously if you hit 150 and you know, and you're kind of at a stage where you don't really know what else to do, that is a massive thing, and it happens to a lot of new games that come out. It always happens, you know, when you smash, you know, there's some really very good players that smash out all of the content, and then they're like, right, I need my next, you know, game fix. What am I going to play next? What am I going to do next? So that's when you lose players. But obviously keeping progression going, more stuff added in for those higher level players is one of the biggest things. And I thought that was quite an interesting thing that Shams said straight up, which is more progression. Next up, someone said, Shams actually said, everyone is throwing game design ideas at me. The last thing you want is me getting involved in game design decisions, but I'll gladly talk shop. My jam is business/leadership organization. Hit me up with some questions on that. And someone said, knowing what you know now, say you had a small team to cover all the bases for an indie game project. There is a passion and interest, but a lack of knowledge and skill. How would you keep everyone motivated and continuing to pursue the end goal when ultimately no one knows what they're doing except they want to make a game? And Shams said, great question. The answer is make small stuff, build and finish small projects, then move on to bigger. So I think what a lot of people are doing is like working out Shams's vision, which is a big thing for us Helldivers, right? Because we want to know what the future holds for Helldivers. We know that the Arrowhead do want to like make other projects in the future and build other games too, which is definitely something I will check out any other Arrowhead titles in the future because of how much I loved Helldivers. But I think they realize what a massive game, how many players are playing right now, and you know, and what the potential they have. So I look forward to it. I believe in Shams. I know there's probably a lot of people out there that's still very 50-50, and yeah, you know, all you have to do is give something time, and time is the answer. Next up, someone said, at Shams, would be nice with more content and challenging content and much higher difficulty than Helldive 9. The weapons is as good as it is, and no need to change that or nerf that. Increase the limit of samples, medals, and requisition. Are we also going to get the promised cape after the Sony battle? And Shams responded saying, all of that is exactly what Johan, myself, and all the other folks at Arrowhead are talking about, which is great news because I think it's one of the biggest things right now is people are worried about is that the whole Sony thing isn't still completely sorted, right? Because there's still loads and loads of regions that are locked out of the game, and it's going on a lot longer. And I think what people worry about with large companies is that they will go quiet on things and kind of wait for, you know, wait for it to all sort of blow over. And Arrowhead are saying that that's not the case, and that's some other information I'll be talking to you guys about in a second. But what is good to see is they're talking about more content and the sort of harder difficulty stuff than Helldive 9. I have mentioned this in past videos as well, guys, where they did mention that this is something that is top of the priority. It links to more progression, right? You know, higher levels, more levels to achieve. And I feel like when you level up more, there kind of needs to be more content for the higher levels. Like, you hit level 25, you get all the mechs, you get all of that stuff, and then you're a bit like, what am I leveling up for? And I think that's a big thing that Arrowhead need to work on. Like, you should be getting some really cool stuff for hitting level 100, right? You should be getting really cool stuff for hitting max level. So hopefully they will do and look into that in the future. So this is what the Sony stuff I said I would mention is, someone says, so you guys actually negotiating with Sony about the 180 countries, or are you guys just saying that to calm the crowd? It's been months, it's not a Steam issue, it's a Sony issue, do they just not care? And Sham's response, I nearly said Johan there, I was so used to saying Johan, responded saying, they care. It's being discussed. So I don't understand what is taking it so long. I don't work at Arrowhead. I can't like be the person to give you guys the information on that. But it does, it does alarm me too, to the reason this took so long, because with the huge pressure of on what happened with the whole review bombing and stuff, earlier on, and that made Sony act quickly to remove the account linking option. But because everyone got a little bit more friendly again with the game reviews and all of that stuff, it does seem to be, you get that vibe that it has gone a bit quiet. But I do believe that if this doesn't get sorted, it will happen again. And I think obviously the team at Arrowhead should know that themselves, and Sony should know that themselves too, that if this just all of a sudden never gets sorted in the future, the community will come together again and the game will get negative reviews again. And that's just the way, unfortunately, for Arrowhead, it will go. And I do feel bad for them sometimes, because it's not down to them. They need to get this approvals from Sony. And obviously, huge companies like Sony, they can be pretty sort of, what's the word that I'm using, that I need to use it, very, very blunt on things. They don't, they're billionaires, and it's just, I'm not saying the people that work on this situation are billionaires, but do you know what I mean? They're a large company, and I really hope we do get some response on this very soon, because I'm sick of waiting, you guys are sick of waiting, and we just want our game back to the way it was before this all happened. Because you have to remember, there's a huge player, like another reason for the player base dropping is there's a huge player base that can't play the game, and that should not be the case. So anyway, guys, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that Shams has talked about, and I will be covering. He seems to be replying and talking about a lot of things in the Discord, so I will do like a big video coming up. It probably won't be tomorrow because it's new patch. I think every content creator like myself is just going to be focusing on the new patch content, so I'll be covering the patch notes for you guys straight away as soon as we do get them, hopefully tomorrow morning, and then I will be covering a whole bunch of stuff on the new Warbond weapons. So it's going to be a busy day. I'm excited for it. I'm ready. As I said, I'm back from holiday today, so I'm back at my setup finally. I don't have to be sitting on a terrible small setup that has just awful stuff to use. Editing takes years, and I'm ready to smash it for you guys tomorrow. Catch you guys in the game. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.